to UFC. So yes, Conor McGregor lost, right? Max Holloway won victory via injury. All right. Troy, let me bring it to you. What was your initial reaction when you got that news?
That Conor McGregor lost,
Yes, sir.
I was happy. I didn't want to see him win. He's racist. I
Word.
don't like him.
Word. Yeah. Fuck him. Yeah.
I don't like him.
You're racist against Irish people.
Who, me?
Yes.
Who else?
Mm.
If I'm a
I
sexist,
love all people. I love all people except racists. I love
That
every
should be on
single
a
person
T-shirt.
on earth unless they're racist. Then I
okay,
want them
that's
dead.
fair. That's fair. That's fair. All right.
But yeah, I was glad to see him lose. I wasn't. Listen, he's entertaining, um, and he does serve a purpose within that world. But I was never the biggest fan of his.
Mm.
I really didn't like his stick. But again, like he puts he puts people in the seats. He sells tickets, right? Like this was a big fight for him to come back, and unfortunately, he just couldn't finish it. I would have
But
loved
this
to see
thing,
him finish it. Like I don't want to see anybody hurt, no matter what they're doing, no matter who you are. If you're doing a contact sport, I don't want to see anybody get hurt. So like I didn't want to see him get hurt. I would love to see him get beat, not just bow out unceremoniously. So
Do we think that this was something he was dealing with during training for the fight, or do you think that, like he said, it just popped up out of
I
nowhere
listen.
and
The,
it was
the man, the
unexpected?
man. They said the man was practicing those jumps for the better part of like 2 weeks. How old is he, Drew? 39.
I know. Oh, too old apparently.
Yeah,
I
he's
thought he
too
was
old to
41.
be. He's 41 years old. He's too old
Yeah.
to do that stuff. To act like to jump around like he's 20. It's just like the wear and tear on his knee was probably trash anyway. So he goes out and he's training for like some specific move, constantly jumping on one leg. Yeah, what do you expect to happen? So
Good point.
whatever. Like, listen, I hope he comes back. I hope he gets beat. Most likely, if I was him, I'd quit UFC and just start prize fighting, just boxing. Pick a fight with with Mayweather again. Go fight one of the Paul kids. That Paul kid, make a bunch of money there. It's easy.
Yeah. No, that Mayweather fight was trash.
Yeah, but they made a lot of money off of it. They made a
I know, but
huge
like
bank
just
off
think
of it.
about
So
how combat sports and just internet culture, I mean, it's I think it's inevitable for them to coexist, but I think that these fights have been more about views than the sport itself. And I think this McGregor fight is another example of that. McGregor versus Mayweather is another example. Tyson versus Logan Paul or whoever Paul it was is another example. It's internet views and it's not really about the sport especially when it comes to the main event nowadays. Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano, whatever the hell her name was.
hmm
Another example. The list can go on. So it's just like imagine you're a fan who went to for the main event. You spent tens of thousands of dollars for these seats. He loses in a minute.
yeah, I'd be pissed off.
I'd be pissed. I'd be pissed. And best believe, like even if I got there the moment the doors open, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah, but you know what? If he comes back and there's another fight on the docket,
Yeah, people are gonna buy
people are
it.
going to go in there. People are still going to buy it. They're still going to pay to see it. So
Yeah. So
Well, athletes, a few athletes, couple of athletes that don't have issues above the age of 38 performing are, I would say, Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. And we're still getting to see one of those guys compete in the World Cup with Argentina still alive in the World Cup. They'll play England tomorrow. I guess we'll transition into talking about what's been going on in that tournament, fellas. Messi still playing like he's back at Barcelona. I mean, it seems like he's found a second wind in this tournament, and he's been arguably the best player for Argentina in making their run towards the final now in the semifinal against England. We saw Spain play against France today and dominated that match 2-0. So they'll be waiting the winner of England and Argentina. But fellas, I want to ask you guys what has stood out to you. We haven't really talked about the World Cup in a minute. So what has stood out to you since we've last talked about what's been going on in the World Cup?
So Colby, I just
I'll
want
Or
to uh, reiterate that I'm baseball Spanish, not soccer Spanish. Just want
Noted.
to
for
reiterate
Noted.
that.
for
P on my
me,
hat stands for baseball Spanish, not soccer Spanish.
Clearly. Clearly.
we got it. Um, for me, I've been like pleasantly surprised how much I've been into the World Cup. I think it's a perfect timing for it in the United States because there's not a ton going on besides baseball. But baseball is such a marathon; games kind of run into each other. But I've been having a great time watching it. The other thing is, Kobe, you talked about takeaways. Just on my social media feed, I don't know about you guys, but been a really good showcase for our country where people are coming in and discovering things about our culture here and really enjoying it, from other parts of the world. So that's I've been super proud about that we could kind of show off what we have in this country. Just on the field, Troy and I were texting a little bit about the Argentina. Who did they play, Troy, when they made that comeback?
Egypt.
Egypt
Egypt.
game. That was I had asked in an earlier podcast, like, has there ever been like a something equivalent to the 29-point comeback that the Knicks did, and that felt like it. I thought Argentina was I thought it was over, and
It was.
yeah, it was
Should have
over. They
been.
got three quick goals, and I was just surprised. It was riveting. Only reason I kept watching when they were down to nothing, I just wanted to kind of see Messi's send off. I thought that would be his last game, and I was kind of just hanging around. It was background noise for me. And next thing I knew, they scored. The Messi scored, and someone else scored. I'm like, oh, that was pretty exciting. Um, so that's been great. I do have just a couple questions. I'm kind of getting into it. I even downloaded like the FIBA, uh, the FIBA app on my iPad. Like, what is it? The mobile game on my iPad, just to play around with it. There doesn't seem to be like a lot of, and I could be wrong. Are there any like two-way players? What I'm noticing from like Mbappe and Messi, like some of the players that I kind of recognize, even what's his name, Jude
Jude
Bellingham.
Bellingham.
When they're on defense, they kind of seem to be hovering around like the midfield. They don't like seem to be locking anybody down. Like that's a thing. And are there players that do both that play like if you're a goal scorer, I don't know if even that's the right term for it.
Hmm.
Do is there like a two-way player? Like a Jalen Brown? That's the only thing I can think of at the time.
Well,
That does
well,
both?
well. On the surface, I'm just going to give you a surface answer, and Kobe could probably dive more deeper into this. The two-way players basically are midfielders. Those guys play offense and defense. When you talk about the strikers like the Messis and the Bellinghams, they're mostly concentrated on offense. Now, they may dig into the midfield a little bit, but they're not going to expend a lot of energy doing that because their main job is to be a forward and to be the striker.
Okay.
And then the midfielders, they can like depending on where you are in the midfield, you can be on the far end of the defense and actually come up and score also. Kobe, I don't know if
Well,
Yeah,
you want to add
that
to
was
that or
pretty spot on. Like there are different types of midfielders too, just to add on to that. Like you could be a defensive midfielder and primarily just help out a team's back line and stay in your own half for the most part, or you could be like Jude Bellingham, an attacking midfielder, and primarily help your team out on offense, really not get into the defensive duties within your team unless you absolutely are defending a 1-goal lead late in the game. Then obviously everybody will be in their own half trying to defend and prevent a goal from happening. But yeah, Dad, you were spot on. What's considered a box-to-box midfielder in soccer is a player that covers both halves. So in soccer, you have the 18-yard box, Chuck. So that's the box that a goalkeeper defends his goal in. It's 18 yards from the touchline. I don't know if you've been watching, you've noticed there are two boxes. So on each end, there's a box, and it's about 18 yards. And it's where, like, if a team gets a penalty kick, the spot to put the ball is in that 18-yard box.
Okay.
So in soccer, there's a player considered a box-to-box midfielder, and that just means they cover from one box to the other the entire length of that part of the field. So they, in essence, they play both offense and defense. So yeah, like the players that you named, the Mbappe's, Messi, they're attacking players. They're gonna score goals, assist goals, and that's their main job. They're not going to defend unless they absolutely need to in a late game situation. But there are definitely those players that do both, to answer your question.
And if you're wondering if you're a defender like Kobe was a left back. His primary focus was defense.
Got it. So
But
it's rare that a defensive player scores?
Yes.
No,
Okay.
it's rare. Yes, it happens, but it is very rare.
So if Bellingham's a midfielder, Kane is the striker?
Correct.
Okay. Because it seemed like Bellingham was like in that. He seemed like to be in that area that I see Messi and Ronaldo in. But you're saying he doesn't play that same position.
So he's branded as a center attacking midfield player, but for England, he's essentially their second striker. Like in soccer, to compare it to basketball, you know how like point guard, every team has a point guard, but there are different types of point guards. Like Steph Curry
There's no
isn't
point
a
guards
traditional
anymore, but I see what you're saying.
Steph Curry, like for example, he plays point guard, but isn't a traditional point guard. You know, Jude Bellingham plays center attacking midfield, but isn't a traditional creator. Like center attacking midfield players create more so than score goals and orchestrate the midfield in the attacking sense. But he's more like a striker. Like he's more like a shadow striker next to Harry Kane, behind Harry Kane in England's team. And for his club, Real Madrid, he kind of plays the same role.
All right, just two more questions. Was today's game an upset? Is Spain beating France? Was that an upset?
No.
Oh, it wasn't. Okay.
Technically speaking, no. Spain is the number 2 ranked team in the world. France is 3.
Got it.
So
now that penalty call that got Spain the free kick is penalty.
I hated that.
I know. Was that a good call? Was that a good call? You might have hated it. Was it a correct call though?
Penalty. What happened? I missed the penalty.
So there was a ball that went into the air in the box, and Lamine Yamal was going after it. It was in France's defensive third. So Lamine Yamal is going after it, try to get his team a chance, and the French defender pretty much tries to clear the ball, and the ball's in the air, so it's coming down, and he raises his foot to clear it, and he kicks Lamine Yamal in the arm, and Lamine feels the contact, obviously goes down dramatically, screaming, all this, that, and the third.
Cannon.
Exactly.
And he was coming from behind him, so I'm sure he knew players were in the vicinity, but
there was no intent to.
It didn't feel like intent.
There was no intent. Usually, when a penalty is called, you look for. The rule is that at least for a handball, like if somebody were to commit a handball offense in the box, it needs to prevent a goal from happening for it to be called a penalty. So you have to clearly prevent a goal from happening. And with fouls like that, it sucks because technically the refs made the right call. It wasn't preventing a goal scoring opportunity. Like Lamine Yamal would have still had to control the ball and find a pass or shoot. Like it wasn't preventing a clear cut goal scoring opportunity, but it was a foul. Like he did kick him in
So
in
what?
in the
That's a
body. And
Kobe. Just on that point, what do you have to do to get a penalty kick? Like I've seen worse plays where there's no penalty kick. Like what made that rise to the level of them kicking?
It's
because he didn't get the
it's
ball, he didn't make any contact with the ball.
But I've seen that happen like
right.
all
But
the
Chuck,
time. Why is that particular play?
it's the same reason why during the course of a basketball game or various games, you see a guy charge into somebody and it's called a block, and then the next game is called a charge. Why? Because there's different referees with different perspectives, so you're going to get some different types of calls on bang bang plays that maybe look alike. One looks less than the other, but from the referee's perspective, it could be a penalty versus another guy's perspective.
So it doesn't matter where you are in the field. You could get like if you're like half court, I don't know what it's called, and you have that. He made that same exact play.
No. If there's a foul in the box, you're going to get a penalty kick. In the box is right in between, right where the goalie is, right in front of the goalie.
Okay.
Anywhere outside, you will get a free kick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay.
Listen, as far as today's game is concerned, like I was rooting for France. Like with the last four teams, I wanted France to win, then England, then Spain, and then I'm not rooting for Argentina at all. Even though I'm a big Messi fan, I love Messi. I'm not rooting for Argentina.
Tell me why.
They're racist.
You don't know why?
I thought so. They don't have.
They're
I think they're the
racist
only
nation.
team without any players of African descent. Is that
Yeah,
true?
and if you just read up on the history, they killed a lot of us.
Interesting.
Yeah, they cleansed.
But-
they wanted. Yeah.
Yeah, cleanse the nation of us. But watching that game today, and basically watching this whole tournament, it's going to be tough to beat Spain. The way they play, and I think I mentioned this because Spain was one of the teams you gave me, right? Wasn't
Yeah.
it, Kobe?
Yeah.
Yeah, the way they play defensively and the way they can control the ball. I think they control the ball better than any other team, than every other team that was been playing in this World Cup. They're just going to be a tough out. They're going to. I mean, the goalie hasn't let up a score in how long?
They let up their first goal of the tournament in their last game against.
Yeah,
Who they play in the
they're
last
just
game?
they're
Yeah.
just a very technically sound team.
Who's their best player?
It's Lamine Yamal.
The 19-year-old.
Yeah, he just turned 19. Yeah, and like the way the game started, it was kind of favoring France because Spain had a lot of the ball, but they weren't doing much with it. And you kind of were thinking, okay, they might get exposed in this game for not having any explosive outlets outside of Lamine Yamal. And then like France would get the ball and be out on the counterattack. Mbappe almost had a chance early on. And it was like, okay, like France obviously has the edge here when it comes to their attacking four. They're going to look dangerous on the counter all game long. And then they get that penalty and the whole game just swung towards Spain's favor. And the France, like you said, like Spain did a great job of keeping the ball. France cannot get the ball. And even when they did give the ball up, Stuart Holden, the commentator, made a great point. They tried to get it back. And like there's a saying at Barcelona, when you give the ball up, you try to get it back in under 6 seconds. It was like the same mentality with Spain. They tried to get it back immediately. You saw them do a great job pressing and just putting France under pressure, and they won the ball back immediately in a lot of cases. So, yeah, they have a great game plan. Everybody on that team controls the ball really well. They have Lamine Yamal that can get by 2-3 defenders at once and make something happen out of nothing. So I think, yeah, you're right, Dad. It's pretty spot on. They are the toughest team right now to beat.
Who do you guys have in the next semis?
I would love to see England win.
Okay.
So, it's
Can
going to be
they?
a tough game. It's going to be a tough game, but I would love to see them win.
Okay. I'm gonna root for them. Let's see what happens.
Very, very historic matchup, too. I don't know if you guys remember the Maradona hand of God moment in the World Cup. against England in
How
the
do you remember
70s.
that?
I didn't say I remember. I said I don't know if you guys remember.
No, we don't remember it.
I just
I don't remember it happening, but I do. I know about it. I've read about it.
yeah. So there's
I don't know what you're talking about. Never heard of it. You want to give us
so
some history?
in a World Cup game between, I'm gonna give you some history, a history lesson here.
Okay, I'm ready.
In a World Cup game between England and Argentina, Maradona, the best player in Argentina, one of the greatest players of all time, scored a goal with his hand, and the ref didn't see it, didn't call it, and it was called the hand of God from that point on. That goal that happened.
They
And
didn't
Well,
replay it?
they interviewed Maradona and they asked him about it, and he said, "Well, it must have been the hand of God."
there you go.
And he's talking about his own hand, calling himself a god.
And then 4 minutes later, he dribbled past like four guys and scored one of the best goals that we've ever seen in the World Cup. And Argentina won 2-1. So a lot of history between these two teams. They've had a couple of more matchups and some fights. Things got ugly. Things got chippy. So no love lost between these two nations. So it'll be an interesting semifinal that
Okay.
I am looking forward to watching. In addition to the World Cup, also have had some summer league action been going on. Sixers have been playing. We've seen Phylon make his debut. We've also seen the top draft picks. The most recent draft, AJ DeBonsa, Darren Peterson, Cameron Boozer, not Carlos, and Caleb Wilson, who had a great debut, 35 points, 7 threes. What stood out to you guys? I was in Spain when Summer League was kicking off. So what stood out to you guys about Summer League so far?
For me, and Troy, I really want your take on this. So this is the first time I've seen Phylon besides highlights. He reminds me of maybe a skinnier version of Rod Strickland. If we can get something out of that, like if that's the upside, I will be thrilled. I think immediately he's going to be the best passer on the team. But I liked his confidence. I liked his, obviously, floor awareness. I know you guys are sick of me saying it, but the IQ of a basketball player is how they pass. And he did some really wonderful things. So I was excited about that. Janai Broom, he put up some numbers, but Troy was making fun of him in the chat. He, at his age and him being a second-year player, I did expect him to look more dominant in a way. He has some offensive rebounds, but he seemed to, not pull a trigger on threes. He didn't seem super aggressive. He needed other players to kind of set him up for him to score. I don't know what the future holds from him. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he'll evolve into something, and we're just not seeing it. I know, like for example, Jared McCain didn't have a good summer league, and he turned out to be wonderful. This is Broom's second year. I don't know. I wasn't blown away, even though he put up some nice numbers. But that's what I kind of took out of it. I'm excited about Phylon. I don't think we've had a player like him since probably Lou Will, and Lou Will wasn't much of a passer. He was more of a scorer. So I am excited to see what he does when he plays with the big boys. He's very slight, though. That's the other thing I noticed about him. But we'll see when he plays against the real players. What do you think of the Rod Strickland comparison, Troy?
I want to, before I get to that, I want to talk about Janai Broom. How is it that, listen, he's not the most athletic person in the world, right? If I'm not that athletic and I'm trying to make the NBA, I think the first thing that I would do is just try to change my body, get in the weight room, put on some muscle. He looks like the only thing he's been lifting is cheeseburgers and milkshakes. And he's not overweight. I don't want to diss him like that. He's not overweight, but he just there's no muscle tone there. and maybe he doesn't need it. Maybe like there's that hidden strength that like
His
Kevin
old man
Garnett had
strength.
was just yeah. Maybe he's got the old man strength because he is an old man, relatively speaking. But like to me, I would at least I expected him to come in to try to prove a point, and he
Mm.
just like I mentioned in the chat, he looks like an old man running around the gym, like the way he moves. And to your point, Chuck, he had great those 2 games. He had great put up great stats, and
Yeah.
he has a to me he has a nose for the ball. He really
Mm.
does.
Mm.
He has great positioning. He knows how to use his body, but if his body was a little bit stronger, I think it would just make him that much more. Uh, just make him a better player overall. I don't know why it seems like he ignores weight training.
I like where you're going there, Troy, but do you think, and you too, Kobe and Drew, like, do you think instead of like not only his body but changing his game, like he's not very athletic, he should maybe be a stretch 4 or 5. I think he would have a longer career if he could develop a 3 and space the floor a little bit.
He
He was giving up 3 pointers, like he was hesitant to take them. I agree. But his body needs to change, but I think his game needs to change a little bit. He won't.
That's
He
fair.
won't.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. I think one of the a big problem is when have we seen any of the Sixers from 1 year to the next develop a better jump shot? That's not a superstar. That's not a potential superstar. Not a first round draft pick. Maxi or VJ Edgecombe, take them out. Like you think about guys who really couldn't shoot coming out of college. Matisse Thybulle, Broom. Give me somebody else. Anybody else?
Furkan was not consistent.
Furkan wasn't consistent. Oubre's
Uh,
not consistent. Wasn't consistent.
yeah.
Right? Like to me, listen. To me, it comes down to having that person on your coaching staff. The best shooting coach, I would say, in the past 15 years, is that Chip. I forgot how you pronounce his last name. He's down in San Antonio. Kawhi Leonard was not a shooter coming out of college. He was not. I'm shocked when he misses a jump shot. Anytime he takes it, anytime he pulls up, it's a line drive jump shot. It's going. It's a bullet right into the basket. Right.
Yeah.
Everybody in
You.
San Antonio. Bruce Bowen. Think about Bruce Bowen. We have Bruce Bowen on the Sixers. He
Yeah.
couldn't shoot straight. He could play defense. Couldn't shoot straight. He goes down there, and now he's the first ever 3-and-D player in the NBA history. Right.
Yeah.
Like he's knocking down threes at a high clip, and we don't have that. Like I think I mentioned this before. The what's the shooting guy's name? The shooting coach that we see online all the time, Colby.
Oh.
lethal shooter.
Lethal shooter. You pay him as much money as humanly possible to get him in here on the Sixer staff. That should be one of your one of your assistant coaches. Get him on the staff and help everybody out here correct their jump shots. That's what I would do. To your point about Ross Strickland, that's a very good comparison. I didn't think about that, but when I think about Phylon, it's real. I'm not gonna say it's real easy, but it's a lot easier for him to maneuver around the court and get to the basket than it is for a lot of other players. You can just see that right off the bat, right off the rip. I'm not gonna say he has like a Kenny Anderson yo-yo handle, but he's got a nice handle. He knows how to use it. Um, I don't, I don't, I hope he has the finishing skills of a Rod Strickland.
Mm.
Rod Strickland has the finishing skills. Well, he taught his godson a lot of his skills, which is Kyrie Irving. Like if he becomes a finisher like Rod Strickland, yeah, that would be something else. That would be something else. I also like the fact, like more than anything, I was trying to watch him play defense. I wanted to see his effort on defense because I know from year 1 to year 2 in college, they needed him to score more in year 2. So that kind of took away from his defense. Out here, I just wanted to see his work on defense. And it wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. Like there was effort there. And Chuck, to your point, I think that the main concern with him is just he has to put on weight, and he will. He will. He'll never. He's not going to look like Jalen Brunson, um, but he'll put on weight. But like he's been that size his whole life. He'll figure it out. Whether it's 10 pounds or 20 pounds. Like if that's all he can put on for his whole career is 20 pounds, it'll be fine. He'll figure it out. Like
Let me
more than anything about weight, it's just strength.
yeah. Let me ask you guys, what do you think his role is going to be on the team? And Colby, you've been Janai Broom's biggest fan. I think that's a
Yeah, I
poster
just
you
want to
have
say a
on.
few things about him.
Yeah, I want to hear like what you.
I just want to
What
say a
you,
few
now you
things.
were in Spain. You were in Spain. You didn't see him play.
I did not
So
see him play. I did not watch the games. I did watch the highlights. But I did not watch the
okay,
games like you guys did.
okay. So
I want
tell
to
us.
remind you guys that he is coming off a lateral meniscus tear that he suffered in February, which
Okay,
Okay,
is
that's fair.
at this point most likely is hindering his mobility.
okay,
I
That's
also
fair.
did see him hit a couple of threes in his first summer league game. I saw that
Hmm.
on the highlight. I don't know how many he ended up taking. I saw he took 7 in one game. He went 1 for 7. He wasn't shooting efficiently, but he did take them. So I
Hmm.
think that the intent is there to be a stretch big shooter for Janai Broom. He just hasn't had the efficiency that we've wanted. But I think the intent is there that, yeah, he needs to make up for his athleticism by being a stretch big.
Can
I
I?
mean, he played in the G League. I know it's the G League, but he played 8 games and averaged 4 threes taken a game. So, I mean, I think
Can
the
I? Can
intent
I
is
say
there.
one thing? Can I say one thing? There's been no difference in his release from year one to year two, which is concerning for me because he had a very slow, methodical, and not unorthodox, but just a weird release. And there's been no change. It's like no one's working with this guy. They want to put him in the corner. Hey, shoot more threes. Well, you guys are going to have to help me get the three off at the very least. Like his release is slow,
It is.
and it has to change. And like to me, that's what's more concerning for me. That it doesn't seem like there's a lot of people working with him to get him better.
yeah, you're probably right, Troy. And I think with his rebound, he can rebound. If he could
Hmm.
rebound and he could just be a spacer, he can have a long career in the
He
league.
could, he
So
could.
I think
And
I'm
listen,
not
he's
giving up
not
on.
right. Okay, and he's not a dumb player. Like I think he's a he has a good IQ. I'm not gonna say he's a high IQ player, but he has a good IQ on him. Like he makes some connective plays, um, and I like that about him. And listen, I'm rooting for him. I want him to succeed, but I don't know, man. Like I just look at him and I'm like, first of all, cut your hair. Just someone has to tell him to, dude, let it go.
You just don't like
The
the way he
baldy is
looks.
fine. And listen,
You just don't like the
Troy,
way he
the
send me a
looks.
baldy
picture
is
of you, Troy.
fine.
You looking great. You looking
Dude,
nice and
the
smooth, Troy.
baldy is fine. Just shave your head,
Just shave it.
grow your beard out, and like, listen, just go there as the meanie, the
There
light
you
skinned
go.
meanie, and just bully people. Put some put some muscle on and bully people, dude. Like his whole
There you
career would be
go.
different. His whole career would be different.
Cole,
Listen,
Anyway,
I don't want to
do
harp on Janai Broom too much with
no, but
everything
tell
else
us, do
that's
you
going
think
on
he
with
has a
this
role on
situation.
the team? Like, what do you think his role is going to be on the team?
Well, right now, no, he doesn't. He doesn't have a role on the team. He has to earn a role on the team, and he's trying to do that right now in summer league. And that's where we are with Janai Broom. Like he's not in the active rotation as of right now. He's a bench guy, so he's got to work his way into being more than that at this point.
What about Sideline? What do you guys think he's going to? You think Nick Nurse is going to play him? Like, first of all, and then what do you think his role is going to be? Especially
I
if he
I
signed
I do think I
Anthony
do
Simons.
think I think if he comes in, like he's going to get a chance to play, right, early on. I think if he concentrates on defense, he'll
Oh,
continue to
Troy,
get that chance to play.
you're probably right, but oof,
And I'm
that's a
just
lot
basing
to
that on
ask.
Nick Nurse. I'm only basing that on Nick Nurse and what he wants. Now, if we happen to get LeBron, if we get LeBron, there's a chance that everybody on that roster is going to get a solid chance because they're probably going to want to see which player plays best with LeBron and which player LeBron likes. Um, so there's a chance that he could like Phylon might be his rookie and he might take him under his wing and that'll be it. I don't know, but I do think Phylon's going to get a chance. If anything, with the addition of Simons, initially I thought Phylon was going to be the third guard, first guard off the bench, third guard, but it's probably going to be more or less the fourth guard. I think he'll get a better chance than Justin Edwards will at this point in time. I would put him
Well,
ahead of Justin Edwards.
well, a couple of things. Troy, I love the fact you kind of mentioned it. Because Maxi is in the backcourt, I think that made VJ such a great player last year, and I think it's going to help Phylon as well. Like practices against them and just having VJ Maxi's so professional, and he's a competitor. I think it's going to make Phylon a better player, and
Mm-hmm.
Maxi's defense has like improved every year he's been in the league, so I think that's going
Mm-hmm.
to help him a lot. You mentioned Justin Edwards. Do you guys worry like he's if we don't bring on let me say about LeBron. We're kind of transitioning to LeBron. Is that okay? I just have something to say.
Go ahead. All right.
So it's I have to admit it is growing on me to have him on the team. Initially I was like, nope, I don't want it. I don't want the craziness. I don't want the circus. But if we get it from a minimum, I think the Sixers are the best team that he could go for if he's looking to win. If he's looking for lifestyle, Cleveland, maybe Miami might be a better choice. Maybe in Golden State. Who he's looking to win, I think Philly's the best choice. So it is growing. I mean, I think it's something I'm probably looking forward to in a way. But what's happening now with him is the reason I didn't want it. Like him dragging this out. You can't tell me he doesn't know. He's a basketball genius. You can't tell me he doesn't know like what the roster makeup would be or like knowing like what the team will look like with him on it. Like it seems like he's trying to just garner some attention, and that's just I just can't stand it. Just pick a team and let's move on with our lives.
Well, no, he can't just pick a team though,
Why can't he pick a team, Troy?
because because he would be picking it. He's got to figure out what he really wants. If this is going to be his last year, to me, if I was him and I'm looking at the situation, I'd play 2 years. I got 2 years left. I'm gonna try to win this first year. That means I'm going to Philly. Philly signed me to a 1 year deal. Whether I win or lose doesn't matter. My last year, I'm going to play in Cleveland. If this is his last year, he should just go to Cleveland. To your point, if he wants to win, come to Philly. But I do think he's weighing all of that. Like, do I really want to win, or do I just want to spend my last year in Cleveland, or do I just want to go back to Miami and have that lifestyle that I used to have?
Mm.
So, like, and listen, Chuck, you could be right. You could be
It seems
100%
performative
right.
to me, Troy.
It could be performative. It could be just like I'm going to enjoy my summer. Like I know everybody's waiting for me to answer, but f everybody else. I'm just going to enjoy my summer.
And it
That's
could
his
be
right.
wait for
Whatever.
the World Cup to finish.
Whatever the reason is, like it's his right. He can do whatever he wants. My point is, if he wants to win a ring, I think Philly would be the best choice. If this is his last year, he should go finish it out in Cleveland.
I have a point about Justin Edwards, but before we talk about that, did you hear reports that LeBron may want his concern about Philly has been Joel.
Indeed. Yeah.
Well, what's your thoughts on that? Like, if he expecting us to I think a Joel for LeBron swap is not something I would want to do.
How you going to swap LeBron for
I'm,
who?
I'm not swapping like it in LeBron's head. Okay, get rid of Embiid, and then I'll come there. That's not something I'm interested in.
I don't. You get rid of Embiid. Put it this way: you get rid of Embiid, you have a less chance of winning, right? Not even knowing how Embiid is going to be like for the playoff run. Um, but let's just imagine if he's healthy, you have a much better shot of winning with a semi-healthy Embiid, who's there for 2 out of every 3 playoff games than you do
But
without him and bringing somebody else in. Like who are you going to bring in as your 5? LeBron, you want to play the 5? Okay, if you think you can win with Embiid going and you playing the 5, try it. It's not going to work. You're not going to do it. You won't
yeah,
win.
yeah, but not only that, excellent point, Troy. But not only that, like at minimum, you're going to have Jalen Brown, Maxi, and BJ. If Embiid's not there, like even with those 3 and LeBron,
During
that's
the
a
course of the
squad.
year, correct. During the course of the year, you're still winning 50 games.
Yeah,
If
that's a
if
squad.
even if Embiid plays 30, you're still winning 50, right? And maybe more than that with Brown, Maxey, VJ, and LeBron James.
Well, I don't know why. Do you think Scoop Jackson's a credible source?
I
I know it's kind of hard.
He used to be.
He's
He
an
used to be.
insider. He used to be. I mean,
He used to be.
I don't
Like
think he's
I
making
used to
stuff
I used
up.
to love listening to him. I don't know. I think I can't tell anymore with these
Yeah,
guys. They
he's
say
been kind
stuff
of under
just
the
for
radar,
clicks.
right?
Yeah, he's been very under the radar for the last 7 years, 7 to
Yeah,
10 years. So I
but he
don't know.
reported
Like
it.
listen, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt if he heard something. But like, is he saying something that's really out of the ordinary that we all haven't been thinking? Like, if he has any
I just,
doubts, we all have doubts about Embiid. So why wouldn't he?
but that's just it. To me, it's just a LeBron portion of it. Like, oh, I'll come there, but here's what I want you to do. Get out of here, dude. You
No,
come
they
in.
like
This is the squad. Either you want to come in and be part of it, or you
correct.
don't.
You're 100% right, and I don't think he's at a point in time in his career where he can come in and play GM at this point in time. You're playing for the minimum. You're probably playing for one more year. We're not shipping anybody out or shipping anybody in
Yeah,
to help you out.
we're
This is your
we're
squad.
not bringing in Bronny. We're not bringing in
No, it's not
uh
happening.
I don't know who else. Kevin Love. We're not bringing
But I
those
think
people in.
he's smart enough to kind of understand that at this point in time.
I hope so. But
So
we can all agree, and again, this is unbiased. Well, it's kind of biased, but Troy, I think you made an excellent point. If he wants to, if this is last year, Cleveland's the spot for him. If he wants to win, like I can't. Out of the teams that are rumored to be interested, and he's considering, Philly's the
correct.
best place he can go to if he wants to win.
I'm not. I'm saying that as a biased, unbiased person. I am
Mm.
biased towards the Sixers, but in this case, I'm just looking at it from a pure basketball standpoint.
Yeah. What about
Right? When you look at
Minnesota?
the
If
That was
Minnesota's
if
close. I
that
was about
was
to say this, the second
okay,
place would be
I
Minnesota.
would have said
yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
As
Um,
so for me personally, as the biggest LeBron hater on the podcast, I feel like me speaking so negatively about LeBron has introduced his interest to the Sixers, and I feel like he will join just to spite me, win a ring just to spite me, just to be like, hey, you saw win a ring and I did it, Drew. I did that for you.
Drew, would
So
you be
He will say that too.
less of a hater if he played for the Sixers?
I'm gonna be the biggest critic still because
Keep
I
in
know
mind
it's
he's 40
impossible, but
something
I
years
want
old.
day one. I want us to ring the wing. Day one he gets there. I know that's not possible, but the moment he gets there, I need to like have the ring in my hand.
Listen,
I know
not that
that's
I'm
not
making
possible,
I'm not trying to
but
make this about me, but no one's giving me a little credit for like
no, I think, but I agree
that
with
heel
you, Dad. I
turn that
think it's
I've had with
performative.
LeBron.
I think yeah, what you've been saying is pretty correct. All right, I think a
There you
lot
go.
of the stuff he's been doing, dragging it out, is performative. I think that because of who he is, he has the options to take his time about
I don't think so.
what
I
he
think
wants
it's
to
a decision.
do. You know,
Has there been any other franchise that maybe I'm missing something? And Kobe, I know you were in Spain. Any other franchise like go on a podcast and say, "Hey, LeBron, come to our city"? Philly was the only one. Like I haven't heard Minnesota. I haven't heard Pat Riley. I haven't heard Cleveland's a little different, but I still haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anything from Golden State except for watching Draymond opt out. It just seems like Philly wants him. They're the only
Yeah,
team that kind of like
I guess
spoke
we've
to
heard
that.
Maxi. I've read things about Maxi
Well,
reaching
Ganji,
out to
I'm
him.
sorry.
Well.
What's on
Hold
podcast?
on. Listen, this is I don't know if this is breaking news, but um, Maxi-led trio has spoken to LeBron.
Hmm.
The
Yeah,
Maxi-led
it was
trio
wrote
has
about
been
2 hours
Maxi,
ago.
Embiid, and Jalen Brown. That they have spoken to LeBron James.
Whoa,
Yeah.
Embiid.
Yeah.
Is this break? This is breaking news.
It was wrote
Don't
about 2
never
hours,
never
3
ask
hours
me
ago.
never ask me about my sources.
It's not breaking news.
I didn't hear that. That's breaking news to
Yeah.
me. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
Listen,
listen,
Embiid's been pretty quiet.
and from what I've heard, like LeBron's not taking meetings from GMs and owners. He's just talking to players. He's just talking to players.
Just pretentious.
Did you
He's
guys-
so pretentious?
So I guess Rich Paul did an interview and he talked about
Yeah.
the fact that LeBron isn't ring chasing. I didn't watch the interview. I don't know. Did you watch it, Dad?
I just saw that.
I saw that clip, but like, of course he's ring chasing. Like, like people talk about ring chasing like it's bad. It's not bad.
If he goes,
Yeah.
to
So
Golden
I
State,
wonder if he
would
was
be ring
responding to it
chasing.
in that context.
Like,
Because
yeah, if he go-
I've heard.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, son.
I was wondering if Rich Paul was like responding to someone criticizing LeBron for ring chasing and saying, "Oh, like that's," or
I think
is
it's
he
out
actually
there.
does he actually not
The-
care about winning? I don't believe
No,
that.
the way he mentioned it, it was like he mentioned it like ring chasing was a bad thing because that's how that was the narrative like on social media. Like, oh, he's just ring chasing. He's just trying to go after Jordan or whatever. But it's like, listen, if you play this game, that's the whole point is trying to win a ring,
Yeah.
right? He's a free agent. He's got a few teams
Troy,
that he
it's-
can
it
go to
does
that he wants to go
tarnish him a
to.
little bit. If he comes to
It
Philly,
does how?
if he comes
If
to
he co-
Philly, outside of Philadelphia, people are going to say he's ring chasing, and I understand your point, Troy.
Mhm.
But it is like it does like it's like desperate. It's thirsty to me when he's like,
You know why?
if he wants to
you know
ring,
what?
why didn't he stay? Why didn't he stay in? Why didn't he stay with the Lakers? Like
Because
they got a nice
because
squad.
the Lakers didn't want him. There was a mutual like just we're
Yeah.
gonna part
Yeah.
ways, right?
That's fair.
So the Lakers don't want him. He has another place to go. Ring like you say that tarnishes his legacy, but if he happens to get a ring, let's say he gets a ring in Philly, or he goes to Minnesota and gets a ring. That
I
means
got
he's
chills
gotten
when
a,
you said a ring in Philly. I got a little chill right there.
that he would be the only player in NBA history go to 4 teams and get a ring. 4 different teams, right? I understand.
That
Like if
doesn't-
you're
that's-
if you're
I'm
a
not
little,
impressed. I'm not
if you're an
impressed.
LBJ hater,
It's
you're
not
going
a
to say he's
hater
ring chaser.
because let me go to a team that's already stacked and like just
Chuck,
add to
do you
that.
want him to go to Memphis? Like here's the thing.
I would
about
have more
LeBron
respect
James.
for him if he just stayed in Cleveland and he won 4 rings. I would probably
Here's-
consider him the greatest
Here's
player
the
if he
thing-
did that.
Here's the thing about LeBron James. He's 41 years old, right? He's trying to play out his last few years the same way Vince Carter did, the same way Kareem did, the same way Robert Parrish did.
No, it's not the same.
It's not the same. He's trying to play it out the same way, but it's not the same. You know why? Because he's still a top 20 player. No matter what team he goes to,
Top 20? Okay.
no matter what team he goes to,
20.
he's going to open up a championship window for that team.
I agree.
No matter what. That's because of who he is.
The
Right?
reason, yeah.
So it's not really ring chasing. Like he can go anywhere, and you can say, well, that team now he's just ring chasing with that team. If he went to Houston, and it'd be him and Durant, oh, he's just ring chasing. If he went to Golden State with Steph, ring chasing. If he goes down to Miami, with Giannis, like, but Chuck, I'm just saying, maybe not you, but anybody can say, well, he's just ring chasing. No matter what decision he makes, it's going to look like he's ring chasing, because all the teams on his list are right there.
Yeah.
And as they should be. Like again, to
Right.
your point,
Exactly.
You want to go to Memphis? No.
And you guys are dissing Memphis. You're right, Troy. I think unless you're deep in basketball, it's going to look like he's ring chasing to where he goes. But I don't think Miami has a chance unless they really revamp that lineup. I don't know who's going to. They have no wings.
Listen, Chuck.
If he goes to Golden State, to
Chuck,
me, I'm looking at it. I wouldn't. That's not ring chasing if he goes to Golden State. It's I want to play with
Chuck,
Steph.
if he goes
I
to
want
Miami,
to enjoy the rest
if
of
he
my
goes to
career.
Miami with Giannis and Bam, and let's just for shits and giggles, I was about to say Westbrook, but Westbrook and LeBron's never playing on the same team again. But like when you have Giannis, you have LeBron, and you have Bam,
Yeah.
you don't really need two all-star level guards,
Who's
right?
going to
You
shoot? Who's
just
shooting? You need shooting at least. Who's shooting on that team?
listen. It's Miami. Like they'll develop some shooter. They drafted some shooter in the second round, pick him up from Argentina someplace, and he'll be a borderline all-star because that's just Miami.
Troy, I know what you're saying. I guess what I'm saying is I would have a little bit more respect for him if he went to Miami because I think they're not even if he goes there, they're not an automatic, I'm going to the finals. If he goes to Golden State, they're still not better than the Spurs. They're still not better than Oklahoma City. They're still not better than Denver. So I can he has roots in Miami, so I totally get that. It's just he wants to his last few years, he wants to play Miami. Oh, he wants to play with Steph. Cool. He's not ring chasing. He just wants to play with Steph for his last few years. If he goes to, that's really only two teams. If he goes to Cleveland, I can understand that. Even though they do have a nice squad, that's home to him. I can okay, he's not ring chasing. If he comes to Philly, I can understand why people on social media would be like, oh, he's ring chasing. He's not moving his entire family to the East Coast. He's coming here for a ring. If he goes to,
but that's the case. But that's the case with Cleveland. Like he's not moving
Yeah.
his family
but
back to
his
Cleveland.
whole family has roots. Bronny was born there. Savant,
I get it,
his
but,
wife's
but they're
from
not.
there.
But they're not moving back to.
But
Cleveland.
they still have roots there. That makes sense to me. If he did that, what I'm saying is, if he went there, a guy like me would not think he's ring chasing. That's all I'm saying. If he comes to Philly, if he goes to Denver, if he goes to Minnesota, if he goes to Minnesota, Troy, if he goes, that's ring chasing.
No, you know why? I can't say that's ring chasing. You know why? Because
Minnesota.
you still have to deal with OKC. Like you're talking about for me, no matter what team he goes to, it's not a lock that they're going to make it to the finals. There's no lock. There's no lock if the Sixers are going to make it to the finals if they get LeBron James. It's a very good chance. It's a better chance than they have right now, but it's no lock.
You hush. The last thing I want to say is about Justin Edwards. Troy, I'll let you get the last word.
Oh no. Okay, go ahead.
If LeBron doesn't come to Philly, and I know the Sixers have 2 roster spots open, does it bother you that Justin Edwards is the first wing off the bench for the Sixers?
Yes. That's huge.
It's huge. I don't know who's out there. If LeBron doesn't come here, LeBron changes everything. It sends Dean Wade to the bench, him and his $10 million contract. And at least you have some depth at wing. The Sixers have none.
None.
So that is a little. Gansey needs to get on his horse if LB has a backup plan. He might. He's been like a wizard so far. So I'll give him. He probably has a backup plan if LeBron doesn't come.
Well, excited to see what happens with LeBron James and the rest of the offseason for the Sixers. We'll be definitely keeping an eye on that. Want to wrap it up with one more topic, fellas, before we get out of here. Getting into the NFL, we saw a top 10 quarterbacks ranking come out. Jalen Hurts was not on.
It was a top 30, right? It was a top 30 quarterback.
I saw.
It was the top 30.
Yeah,
I only saw the top 10.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. It was. They had a whole list of every quarterback. They ranked every quarterback in the league.
Okay. Where was Jalen on? Because he wasn't in the top 10.
He was ranked number 17th.
17th.
He
So
was
not
ranked
even on the
17.
outskirts of the top 10.
Well,
I would-
listen, if they're doing off of last year, that's probably a fair. That's probably a
17
fair
is crazy.
assessment. But
17
in
is
terms of
think
like,
crazy.
do you have
That's
the list? Do you
crazy.
guys have the list?
I'm pulling it.
Coley, put up the list, or Zachary, put up the list.
Zach, can you find it? It's on ESPN.com.
17 is like mad disrespect.
I can kind of get it if they're just basing it off last year. I didn't read all the details, but in terms of like just overall, who's a better quarterback? I'm still not like I don't understand the love affair with who's the quarterback who's the Chargers quarterback? I don't know why I'm drawing the blank.
Justin Herbert.
Detroit?
Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow. Like Joe Burrow, he's great, but he doesn't stay healthy. He's had like one playoff run in his whole career. He's 29 years old. I'm not saying Jalen's better than them. I think I would take Jalen over Justin Herbert. But I didn't think they give too much love. Also, Jared Goff, he made the top 10 too, and I thought that was like. I think Jalen should at least be number 10. I think Goff should not be in the top 10.
What about
I don't know
Drake May?
the other.
What
Drake
about
May. That's why I think they're basing off last year, Troy. Because
Listen, they're definitely basing it off the previous year. Like they're not taking your whole body of work into every year. It's just what have you done the past year, and what they think is going to look like next year. Right?
What did
a
Joe
lot of
Burrow? So what did Joe Burrow do last year to be ranked the fourth best quarterback? in the
excellent
league?
question. Excellent question.
I don't know, but I have no idea.
Yeah. Can you share that? So I'm not sure what Troy. I mean, Cole. That's a question. I don't know what they did to be ranked.
I'm genuinely asking because I don't think that he played that much, but I don't remember him playing at all, but I could be wrong. Maybe he did.
I think Lamar should be in the top. Well, he's number 4. I don't know who you would bump down. He should be top 3 to me. Like, but I know he had a bad season last year, so maybe that's. Oh, he's 5. I'm sorry. I think he should be ahead of Joe Burrow.
So Joe Burrow played 8 games last year, threw 17 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, no rushing touchdowns,
He played 8 games.
66 completion percentage. So they definitely, based on that alone, they definitely took what the players have done in like they've taken their full careers into account. Maybe they put more stock into what they did last year for most of them, but for Joe Burrow to be ranked 4th,
I think with Joe
maybe-
Burrow and to your point, Trevor Lawrence, or no, Justin Herbert, they look like prototypical quarterbacks, so they are always going to get
yeah.
a little more shine than the Jalen Hurts of the world. And Jalen Hurts came in with questions, right? So those questions are never going, no matter how great he plays, those questions are never going to go away fully. So you think about, you got a new offensive coordinator once again. You lost your top receiver. You're not running. You didn't run as well as you did previous years last year. So they're probably taking all that into consideration. But I think they just overdid it. Like he's obviously better than a lot of these quarterbacks. Listen, I'll be honest with you. I'd probably take him over every other quarterback on that list, outside of Patrick Mahomes, if I had to win one game.
Interesting.
If I had to win one game, I'm picking Jalen Hurts over damn near everybody except Patrick Mahomes. And,
Troy,
and that's the guy he outplayed in 2 Super Bowls.
To your point, only 2 of the quarterbacks in the top 10 have won a Super Bowl,
Super Bowl.
and only 1 of the top 10 have been to multiple Super Bowls like Jalen. I don't think
That's Patrick.
That's Patrick, yeah. I don't think they give Jalen enough credit of his playoff success. and big game success. And I know it's a whole like that Sirianni Jalen combination against winning teams as their winning record. I mean, their record is just amazing. Jalen's record against like these. I'm not going to, Zach, you may have to do the work on this, but I would love to see his record against these quarterbacks. I'm sure it's pretty good, if not great. My
He has
question
a
to
winning
you guys,
record. He has a winning record.
I'm
They
sure,
mentioned
I'm
that
sure
on-
it's beyond winning. I'm sure it's amazing. What do you guys see? You got a problem with Dak at 6? You think is he top 10? He was 3 last year. I'm just looking at this right now, but he's 6.
Yeah,
this year.
I do, obviously. Like, yeah, he's not based on. Listen, I think most of those quarterbacks that are ahead of Jalen, I would probably say they have more talent than Jalen in one form or another. And I'm basically talking about arm talent, right?
Yeah.
But when you talk about playing a position of quarterback, I don't think most of those guys don't even come close to Jalen. I think he plays the position better than most of the quarterbacks in the NFL.
In what way?
He's just not as physically talented as they are. And
In
I think
what
that
way?
gets. What do you mean?
In what way does he play it better than them?
I think if
He
when
doesn't make
everyone's on top
mistakes.
of their game, I think he commands the field better. He commands situations better than most every other quarterback. And some quarterbacks, and you talk about Dak, you could talk about Josh Allen, you could talk about Lamar Jackson. They tend to not shy away from the moment, but they just don't come up big, or they come up small. Forget not coming up big. They come up small in big moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've not seen that from Jalen Hurts. I've seen him have back the game against San Francisco. He didn't have a great game, but his whole team didn't have a great game. The offensive line, Saquon or his receivers, right? So that's going to make him look bad. But for the most part, since he's been an Eagle, and trust me, I was not the biggest Jalen Hurts supporter when we first got him, but since he's been an Eagle, there's nobody else that I would take over him outside of Patrick Mahomes. Sorry, I just wouldn't do it.
Wow,
Dak
okay.
Prescott, number 6. Dak he's becoming the James Harden of the NFL. I'm dead serious. He
probably right.
his regular season, he puts up stats, and when it comes down to him trying to win a playoff game, it's 4 interceptions.
Yeah, good
He
point.
disappears. So
That's a great
Like, yeah,
compliment to Dak.
no, it's not. No, it's not. He until he proves me otherwise, he is the James Harden of the NFL.
I mean, yeah, James Harden is one of the greatest players we've ever seen. So
I'm
think
sure
that's a great
Dak
compliment for
with his
Dak.
numbers, he'll get into the NFL, but he will never win. Let me knock on wood.
All right, with that, fellas, we'll wrap it up. Make sure you guys stay tuned for more World Cup talk, more Summer League discussions as we get closer to the NFL season. Maybe some fantasy football, some mock draft templates we'll throw out there. But thank you guys for tuning in. Let us know what you think. Like, subscribe, follow us on social media, and stay tuned for our next episode. Go England. Hope they win the World Cup.
Go England.
This is America.
Powered by Riverside.